Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the First Off the Tee podcast. I am your host, Robert Evanek, co-hosted by my father, Doug.
Morning.
This is episode number 23. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Advent Golf. Check out the video description for details on discount code. And let's get right into it.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, first off, the algorithm, it worked.
What algorithm?
The YouTube algorithm did its magic.
It did its magic, huh? Well, please enlighten me.
We've been getting, over the past month, we've been getting 10, 12, maybe 20 views. Mm-hmm. Even our second episode with JT.
Right.
Only 48, 50.
Great episode.
Well, the first episode got 170.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Not so many views. Maybe the content's getting a little stale.
Yeah.
The PGA is slow, so it kind of makes sense. Last week's episode, nothing special. It was a regular. I would, if I had to rank it among our 23 episodes, I'd put it in the bottom half.
Yeah. Not nothing spectacular.
90 views.
Wow, excellent.
And I don't know what, I didn't promote it any differently. I didn't post anything. We either got a shout out from somebody and I didn't catch it. So if that's the case,
great.
And I didn't say thank you to whoever the mystery shout out person is, thank you. Or thank you to the algorithm. Something clicked and our video got suggested to more people than it normally does.
Excellent.
So,
well, hey, hopefully we can keep the content up, and a little spicy, I guess, but way to go. Love it. But you saw the algorithms. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, so we'll see. We'll see if that continues or if it was an anomaly for just that episode. But anyway, moving right into it. PGA, a lot has been going on. Now, of course, that we only do the podcast once a week, we kind of have to look back and forward and recap everything.
Yeah.
All the news highlights. Who won last week?
Did you see? It was I forget it. Not Leishman. Lowry. Not
Shane Lowry.
Not Shane. No, I forget. He hasn't won in 13 in 7 years.
So you couldn't understand why I don't remember his name.
7 years. But it went to a playoff, and Wolf was in it, and the other guy was there. I caught the playoff right at the end. I was like, "Hey, Robert, you got to see this." I forget. I don't even think you were around. But and it's a shame that I forget his name because I'm focused on what's going on in the future because big news about the upcoming people that are playing. But let's what do you call it? Get into that. It was a three-way playoff.
Okay.
So they played. I think they played the first 8. They played the 18th hole again, and no one. And then I think they went back to the 17th or something, and the winner sunk a 20-foot birdie putt.
Wow.
Win, so it was a.
That's a significant.
Like you said, and he's been. He got in as a sponsor's exemption because he hasn't been winning that much. So man, they just kind of that 7 years on the tour. I don't even know what his ranking was, but it was good. Good to see. Someone who's been out there for a while trying to make that happen. But moving forward. Well, anyway, how's your coffee?
It's different today. I don't know what's going on.
A little different today.
Cheers.
I mean, cheers. I mean, not different than it's the coffee press, but I went with the dark roast instead of the last week. I went with the espresso in the in the Keurig. So it's dark roast. Good. Thumbs up. All right. Good.
Yeah, I give it the thumbs up. Okay, moving forward to the CJ Cup.
Yes.
What's going on with the CJ Cup?
Well, do you even know what the CJ Cup is?
No idea.
I better do some homework on what is the CJ Cup. Well, so it's only been around for about 3-4 years. And it's a conglomeration of Korean businesses. So South Korea and Korea, I don't know where all the businesses are, but they're a conglomerate of food and marketing and whatever, and they sponsor this CJ Cup, and it's in Las Vegas. Again, last week was in Las Vegas, so they're staying in some nice areas. But do you know who the reigning champ is?
No, who's the reigning champ?
I believe, is Brooks Koepka. But if that's not the truth, who is the reigning champ who has the best score in the tournament?
Jordan Spieth?
Brooks Koepka.
Oh.
So minus 21, he won. And I don't know if it was 2018 or 2017, whichever it is. So he holds the record there. But and who's coming back this
That's the big news this week. Or he announced it last week, but Brooks Koepka's back from injury. It sounds like it was knee related, which he had surgery on his knee last off season. He came back this year for a little bit. He was competitive, but he just wasn't typical Brooks. He didn't do the Koepka walk where he just like looks past everybody, and when he's just looking at the horizon, and if anyone's in front of him, he just walks right past them, right through them. The Koepka walk is something to see. If they catch it on camera, when he's locked in, he's almost like a lion among, I don't know,
meerkats,
lamb, and he just has this like ultimate alpha male walk, and it's just like, that guy's not messing around. We didn't see the Koepka walk this year.
No, well, you know, like I said, he's been injured, and that comes with confidence. And you know, I mean, he was pretty close in that last tournament I think they played, but then he felt he didn't produce on the last day, and then the next day he was out with injury. So. Hopefully, you know, let's see what happens to him. I'm not expecting great things from him. I think he's going to be there. He's going to be as competitive as he can be. But you know, I don't know who.
I mean, he's got to get back to 2 years ago. At one point 2 years ago, he won 50% of the majors he participated in.
Yeah,
it was after playing in his 8th major. He had 4 wins. It was like unheard of.
Yep. And, you know, of course, we got the Masters coming up.
Masters comes up in November. That's right around the corner.
So, I don't even know how to handle it. Because I don't know what to think about it. I mean, because we're getting into this lull. And, of course, us as beginners, as golfers, we're not going to be able to play that much in the Northeast. It's cold. It's this, that, the weather. So we're kind of like hanging our clubs and putting our stuff away. And now you're getting the Masters, which is usually the beginning of, you're getting ready to play. So it's really throwing us in the Northeast vortex. Way out. I don't know what to do.
In other PGA news, we were talking about this off camera a couple days ago. Rory, who had some choice words, not that he said anything foul, but he wasn't particularly happy with Bryson DeChambeau and the way that he's kind of taking a different approach to the game. How he's just launching the ball as far as he possibly can and then worrying about chipping out of the rough when he gets up there.
Right.
Rory seemed to be kind of off-put by it. He made a couple comments. That's not how the game is meant to be played. He's changing the dynamic of, you know, the field.
Yeah.
Well, that same Mr. Rory is now saying, well, if that method is working, maybe I should try it.
Maybe you should try it, huh?
So, like we said, Rory already is in the upper, I'm making this number up, in the upper 10% of long ball hitters.
He was up there with the
He's up there. I don't know exactly, but he's one of the longer guys off the tee. Well, he's saying, I'm going to work on improving my club head speed because what the heck? Why not try and put the ball out there? If he's doing it and it's working, why is he the only one? Let's see if I can reproduce it. He thinks he's a better golfer overall.
Right.
You know, so he's like, okay, if I can put the ball out there where he is, I can beat him from there in.
Right.
So let's see what happens.
Interesting concept. I mean, but, you know, of course, it's an ongoing debate that we'll have forever about the technology of golf and how it relates to the play today. And I 100% agree with you always come back with me. Hey, everybody's playing with the same stuff, and I get it. So if you're playing with the same equipment and one guy hits it further, so be it. just in my defense, I always back up. Well, the courses were designed back in the 20s when you didn't have this technology. So the course isn't designed for the technology. So something's got to give. And I'm sticking with Jack Nicklaus. He says that, put a deadener on those balls, make those balls so they don't go so far. We'll give you the equipment. We'll let the manufacturers make all the equipment, the bigger heads, the sweeter soft spots. Great for us, but for the tournament players, and I could see that tournament ball. You on the tournament are going to play this ball. Maybe it's down to the course. If it's a shorter course, made in the 20s, we're going to give you this ball. It's not going to go that far. But who's going to be at disadvantage? The guys that aren't bombing it, right? So
it's always going to be a balancing act.
It is a balancing act.
You have to just give it to the guys who can bomb it out there. It's an advantage that they picked up via, and I'm talking specifically Bryson DeChambeau. He put in the work, he put in the time, and had the forethought to say, hey, maybe if I bulk up and I can launch the ball, it'll give me this advantage. And it was a physical transformation. Very clearly physical transformation in his case, where you can see he put on weight, he put on a ton of muscle, completely changed his swing off the tee, and it's working. So, yes and no.
Yeah,
I understand that the courses weren't designed to be played like this, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. And the game of golf, it's just like when in baseball, guys started launching home runs because of the steroids, and some people freaked out, and then other people were like, I don't care if they're doing steroids. It is awesome to watch these guys just launching balls over the fence. And it made the game more exciting. Now, I'm not condoning the use of steroids or saying that these guys all should be doing it, but just look at what Bryson DeChambeau has done in just one offseason and the amount of buzz that was created with just him just absolutely rocket missiling the ball. It created a lot of buzz. Ratings went up, and people like to watch it. So
we like them.
It's always a balancing act. The traditionalists are going to say that's not how it's meant to be. But I think, this is my theory, the vast majority of people who don't care about the traditionalists are now more engaged because everyone's not just hitting the ball down the middle 250 yards. You have DeChambeau hitting it 350, and just seeing that number is like mind-boggling. It's like, that's awesome. I want to watch this guy. Ratings go up. PGA, USGA likes it, and so I think that's why we're even where we are today with the technology that lets them hit the ball so far. It's because the ratings go up.
Tom had a good point. He said, hey, just make it really tough out in that 300-yard area. Put fescue, where if you're in the rough, you're not getting out. You're not advancing. Even though they thought they were going to do that at the U.S. Open. But maybe even more difficult when you try to bomb it and you miss.
Well, that's a good point, because then you are allowing these guys who have the physical capability to launch it out there. You're giving them the option for them to take that as an advantage, but it comes with a risk.
Big risk. Maybe there's a lot more water. Maybe there's a hazard that you're not going to get out, and it's going to be a stroke penalty.
So, Bryson, if you want to launch the ball out there, be my guest, but you better be accurate, because
we're going to make it a little bit tighter. We're not going to make it because, again, the course wasn't designed to go out that far, so they didn't make hazard. A good hazard.
Right.
You put some big ass pop bunkers in there. When you're in, you're not going to advance. You're going to think twice.
Then the risk versus reward starts to balance out.
Tom was saying that the other day, because I have the same argument with him. Not argument, discussion. But cool. Yeah, excellent.
Okay.
What do you got?
Moving on to Big Cat. Cat had an outing.
Big Cat tournament. So I was a little confused. I thought the Big Cat was putting this tournament on, and he was scrambling to get it going. But it was really, it was a legacy that he helped start for the hockey team where he lives, and it's money for the kids. So he wound up getting 2 foursomes, and we went up there and we had some.
What course?
This was up at Crystal Springs.
Oh yeah,
beautiful course. It It was a little breezy, but what a beautiful day. They had this little German beer garden in the back, and then there was another huge tournament. The place was packed. It was nice to see the amount of people were there. You know, everybody had their mask on. Everybody was social distancing, but there was a big event, and with us was small.
Right.
And then, but there was, they had this huge circus tent outside to fit all the couple hundred people that were doing this other. It was New Jersey Cystic Fibrosis, I think.
Oh, so there was multiple events.
There were two, yeah, because ours was just a small one. I don't know how many they had totally, because I didn't get to stay for the whole thing anyway. But good day. I was hitting the ball pretty good. Not so great, but pretty good. But that tournament, that best ball, it's hard to get really focused. And I think I told you, I almost hit the longest drive. I was like 10 yards behind the longest drive. And all I said was, I'm going to just give it a little extra on this one. Like a decent, but I'm of course not hitting it that hard.
Right.
Because I just been trying to keep the ball out there. And I just bombed it, and it got pretty far. And then as we went to finish our hole, some guy went 30 yards past the other one. I was like, I would have only had it for like 30 seconds.
At least you would have known it was a legit win. I heard a story just recently about an outing. Some guy I was talking to, he was playing an outing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is ridiculous. The long drive winner won $5,000.
Wow.
With no, you know how like if there's a hole in one, there's somebody watching it. No one watching it. He was the second to last group. So there's only one group behind him. He went longest yard. He went longest drive. Well, they came into the clubhouse and the group behind them. Apparently, someone outdrove him.
Oh,
I'm not saying they cheated, but I'm just like
the
chances of that to be the second to last group and to bomb it out there. You're like, this is money in the bag.
Yeah.
Last group comes in, big, no one's watching. Not saying they did, but it's a possibility.
Right. And I like your theory about with those tournaments that even when you win the best ball tournament, you're going to get like a sleeve of balls or something, not a major price tag on something, because
even at Dana's outing, they did $50 to the gift to the to the pro shop.
Right.
That's perfect.
That's legit. It's because who cares if you wrote down you had 17 under and whatever it is.
Right.
But,
that's the problem with the outings. People can cheat, but if you make the prizes minimal and then you save the door prizes to be major.
Door prizes are better. Everybody gets the same chance to win it, which is good.
So that is 2-1.
Wow.
The end of the podcast. So
Excellent.
we were going to talk about Zen Golf Update. We will move that to episode number 24, which will be next Thursday.
Perfect.
In the meantime, should be fun watching the PGA. There's a couple big dogs playing this week, including Koepka, including Rory, including JT, including Schauffele.
Yeah,
so
got a big field.
There's going to be it's going to be fun to watch this week. So good luck to the PGA golfers, and that is the end of episode number 23.
Yep.
Have a good week.